account, the one I've logged in as, because I'm a client. So of course I can do like reviews if I'm interested. If I'm not interested, I can rate them 4 or 5 star and event when is my next appointment, my packages, and all my bookings, notifications, my inbox if
Welcome to the boardroom. I'm your host Ntalonde Ngalaza, and today we are in Soweto Vilakazi Street for the launch of Azmeh app. Ladies, welcome to the show and tell us more about this app.
Thank you so much.
Introduce yourself first.
And hi guys, my name is Lungile Sitole. I'm 19 years old and I am the founder and the director of Azmeh.
Hello everybody, my name is Sanelisiwe Mthembu. I'm 21 years old and I'm also the director and founder of Azmeh.
Yes. And please tell us more about this app.
Well, Azmeh, we would like to call it a beauty commerce, if we may say. Well, we have conducted a survey what inspired Azmeh to be born. We conducted a survey around townships, trying to find out what is it that we can do to solve the unemployment rate because it's very high. And then we find out that most of them have skills that can be used for them to generate income, such as being your nail tech,
tattoo artist, masseuse,
yes, your makeup artist, you can name it all. So why not put them under in one app and make marketing for them where they will find clients that will book appointments. Now you know when you have a wedding, you can go to our app, you book a makeup artist, you want a bridesmaid, you can
the
do
convenience
anything.
of it, yes.
Yeah.
So it's the convenience of the app.
Yes.
Yes. So you launched today. What's the next level of growth for you guys and your business? What numbers are you looking at? And what's the vision going forward?
Well, as we've launched today, we launched phase 1 of our app. Where we introduced the beauty commerce business, where we introduced how you can sign up or log in into the app as a service provider or as a customer client. So when we'll be launching phase 2, which I think will be in a month or 2 years, we'll be launching phase 2 where we will be explaining even more how you can get your driver, your car services. We will also be explaining more on how you can sign up for a membership. It's free to sign up onto the app for now. But as you go along, you'll be able to sign up for a subscription where you can allow yourself to be part of the popular listings. Yes.
And what would you say is unique about this app? Because there are many apps out there. What's unique about this app?
Well, the make about this app, I would like to say, is the first of its kind, especially coming from the township, owned by two black girls. That already set out a statement for this app already. And the fact that we're tackling a $1 trillion empire business and we have courage to do that, that makes us probably idols to other people, because we're teaching them that yes, you can do it too. It doesn't matter how old you are, the gender, the color of your skin, but then there is, if you dream it, there is a possibility of making that dream a reality.
I think we're also encouraging people to start following into the world of fifth industrial revolution. The digital industry is growing very fast. And I think the fact that we also managed to do this in 5 months is another impressive factor into it. That literally 2 young black girls achieved to make an app in like 5 months. So I think that's another encouraging factor.
Why the technology space? I mean, you could have done anything.
As I said, it's innovating and growing very fast.
Yes,
we are growing in the technology space. Technology is basically taking over the world, if I can say. So if we are going to stay left behind and not utilize it to the best of our abilities, I mean,
then we're left
We're not gonna leave behind. We leave behind. So our app and our vision for making this app was for us to work with technology, not for it, not against it, but with it. For it not to control us, but for us to be able to utilize it to the best of our abilities, work with it, and maybe even control it ourselves so it doesn't take over us, but we take over it.
Okay. And marketing, let's talk marketing, like how you are looking to reach young people. Is there a concept behind and a strategy how you guys want to reach the other young people out there and make them aware and make them get in your campaign?
Oh yes. Well, right now we have partnered with F&B, which is something that we're very excited about, where we're doing road shows, introducing the products and inviting more businesses on it. So we're really excited through that journey. So we're gonna travel the whole country, to the world. So that's
very exciting.
Yes.
So also just to close it off, how would you like to encourage other young people also to get into entrepreneurship? How did you guys do it?
What can I say?
It's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of hard work. It is a lot of hard work. But to be honest, the hard work is worth it because it's something that we're actually passionate about. The fact that for me personally, I've always told myself I won't want to work a 9 to 5. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to work under somebody either. I've always wanted to be my own boss.
Have you ever worked?
I've worked a 9 to 5. I didn't like it. Didn't last long.
Look too young to
Didn't last
work.
long. Yeah, so that's when I didn't even need that to actually realize that really I'm my own boss. I want to work for myself. I want millions. I have a vision. How do I go about it? Be an entrepreneur. What can I do though as an entrepreneur? Hooked up with this lovely lady, and here we are.
And do you guys employ other young people as well?
We will be soon since our company is growing. So of course, meaning more departments will be open to the company, meaning more employment and more opportunities, not just only on the app, but on our company, the whole system
company.
running it. So we're also excited about that.
We're also planning on opening a foundation for the company to offer skill development services as well, skills to people that want to get within the beauty industry. So
we're gonna help them.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
As the little, we come in and we assist you with some of the things like that. So I've mentioned payroll, I've mentioned leave administration, bursary administration, recruitment. What else?
I think the biggest of all is compliance.
Compliance, right? So you know that there are labor laws. We've got the Department of Labor that's always looking at whether you are doing things correctly. Are you paying towards pay? Are your workers paying towards EUIF? Are you looking after the well-being of your employees? So yes, those are some of the things that we do focus on for organizations. So yes, previously we were dealing a lot with corporates, but yes, we are in the space of SMEs because we're excited to be a part of the journey. We're excited to see growth, but we also want it to be sustainable.
Welcome to the boardroom. I'm your host, Dalonte Ngagaza, and we are here on a journey of entrepreneurship and encouraging youth and women empowerment in terms of business development and entrepreneurship here in Soweto, Vilakazi Street. And I'm joined by Lungiswa, who's an entrepreneur based here in Soweto. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. What is your business? And just introduce the viewers to what you do and some of the endeavors you are involved in.
Okay. So as an entrepreneur, I am in the HR space and I am bringing HR services to SMEs. So this is a space that's previously considered as only for corporates, but with being an entrepreneur, you need structure, you need much needed guidance in terms of the support to get to where you need to from a compliance perspective, from the Department of Labor, from employment equity, skills development, anything actually HR, because then this allows you to allow somebody else with the expertise to manage the HR side and to manage your relationships with your employees as an employer, and you can then focus on what you do best, which is being a creative, which is making the money, which is putting your business on the platform to be accessible.
Yes. How did you start out in this space and why entrepreneurship?
So how I started off in this space is as a sales representative. So I've always been in sales. I've always been an entrepreneur. So this is how I got into the HR space. My journey in entrepreneurship started as a young person in school, you know, things like selling chocolate during break on the bus and bus trips to school. So it then evolved into something which I was really passionate about, which is beauty. I've been in the beauty space since 2008 as a professional makeup, as a nail technician. So I love bringing things that make women feel great, but not only that, I mean, it's evolved now into the HR space, which makes business people feel good about having the support and having some structure, which allows them to continue with what they really are passionate about.
I mean, if someone now wants to get into that HR space, how would you advise them? How should they go about it?
There are a lot of opportunities currently with FETs. There's a lot of opportunities with universities. So you could always start your journey either with a college, Technicon, or if you do have, you know, the financial backing, you can always go into a university. So we've got a wonderful university that we have access to, which is UJ. We've got universities around Soweto, around Johannesburg that you can access. Should you also just wish to get some guidance, we are also available, you know, as a company to give you guidance on where you need to go, which doors you can go onto to get the much needed information to put your career forward.
And some of the challenges along the way?
Sure. Some of the challenges along the way is, you know, really grasping that opportunity and making it your own. Apart from making it your own, making it work for you, making the impact that you need to make in your community. It is also imperative as an entrepreneur to realize that there are challenges along the way. So don't let that become a hindrance to progress. Don't allow money, because we know money is something that we all want because it helps us, you know, with day-to-day living. But when you have a vision, when you have the opportunity, make it work. Money, success will come along the way.
And business people based here in Soweto specifically, what do you find are some of the things that they have to contend with in terms of business and entrepreneurship that are maybe specifically Soweto thing, you think?
I think consistency, but apart from consistency, you know, I think a lot of businesses feel that, you know, guidance and support like HR services, for example, are not reachable in terms of spend. Because I think so often we think that, you know, an HR manager is going to cost me an arm and a leg, which could, yes, cost you an arm and a leg, but, you know, we are, you know, customizing it so that we are offering you what you really need, which means that we'll cut down on some costs to accommodate, you know, what it is that we need to offer you so that you get to the point that you need to get to. So that's one challenge. I think other challenges is formalizing our businesses. I mean, we, yes, can run our businesses as informal, but we want progress, we want sustainability, we want growth. So if you are considering that you want your business to be impactful in the next 5 years, you need to have a plan. You need to get into programs that will train you or train people. You need to be able to duplicate yourself, because sometimes you might not be able to be there.
Yeah.
So allow yourself the opportunity to have some people that you can bring from your community, train them. That can be something that you do which will allow you, to take advantage of some of the returns on investment that you can get if you are spending on, let's say, for example, the skills development levy. But even if you are not, but you're empowering people around you, you are giving people skills, you are engaging them so that you are, building the community, building skills, coming together, and also just the growth of the economy as well as job creation is very important. Let's not be sole traders for the rest of our lives. So you can't start off as a sole trader, but grow and impact people, impact the economy, make sure that you have a team.
What do you find most exciting in this space, and what is next for your business?
Sure. What's exciting in Soweto in general, or
in your business?
In my business, in my space. Yeah. What's exciting in my space, well, with Delito is that we are bringing much needed HR services, but as well as bringing awareness of the need for it. So it is exciting that we are formalizing business, we are bringing compliance as a service offering. So that allows people, businesses, organizations to really come together and ensure that they are actually getting to a point where they are growing, because you want to get to a point where you can apply for funding, where you can apply for those tenders and get to a place that you really want to be. But as myself as an entrepreneur, I'm excited about the beauty industry. I'm excited about the wardrobe and styling industries, because there's a lot to offer. We are now going to be globally recognized. I mean, people come in from all over the world looking for services that we are offering, and with the new app that has just been launched today, Azmeh, you are looking at an opportunity where you can be on a platform that allows you to be seen by people that don't know you but are able to reach you. So globally, we are going to get to a place where we are going to be known.
Yes, and what's next?
What's next? What's next is manufacturing. I would like my own brand of makeup. I would like to bring lipstick to women in Soweto that is manufactured by a proudly South African woman. I'd like to have product that is agreeable to our skin tones, that is agreeable to our different skin colors, obviously. But just an array of offering that allows women to truly express themselves with color.
Okay, Lunis, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome to the boardroom. I'm your host, Ngakaza, and we are here in Soweto at Vilakazi Street at the launch of Azmeh app, which seeks to encourage entrepreneurship and encourage collaboration among young people in business and in the world of entrepreneurial business development. So I'm joined here today by Tammy Klassen. He's with the DTI, Department of Trade and Industry, developing industry in townships specifically. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Ntalante.
thank you, sir. Tell me more about what you do and how you came about to be in this space.
Well, I am employed by the Department of Trade, Industries now and Competition. And my portfolio is looking around at issues of industrialization, focusing on the townships and the rural communities, but with the main focus being on the infrastructure development. How do we help create an enabling infrastructure that is able to build the economy for various communities, especially those that are associated with the townships but associated with the rural communities. Our main value proposition is to build that world-class infrastructure upon which the various enterprises could be able to come and locate their businesses, such as in the industrial parks. Our program focuses also on upgrading or revamping the old industrial parks so that they can be active and well-developed areas of working for the various enterprises. We want to encourage the small entrepreneurs that have been operating on the various backyard, garages and all those makeshift such accommodation, so that they can come into a space where there's consistent electricity, it's got accessibility, it's got good water running that can make their factories also to be compliant with various regulations. This also will improve and help them to put standards and help them to be competitive in whatever they are producing. But of course, the part of the work that we're doing is also concerned with policy development. How do we help communities start to create a policy or policies that inform how their spaces must be interpreted? So it's part of collecting those dialogues, and we work with various departments through interdepartmental, arrangements and agreements. We work with various agencies in the provinces, national, and just other non-government, state, but also international ones, such as the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. We work with the one for the Germans, GIZ. We work with the Swiss. They bring in various skills and best practices into the space. You'd consider that, as we go forward, the competitiveness of this space is going to require us that we become environmentally sensitive and create sustainable ventures along that. But not only that, but also we need to take opportunity of the new space provided by the digital transformation age, that's brought about. And it comes with a lot of other opportunities in the artificial intelligence realm. And we want people, youth, especially in the townships, to take those opportunities, because there's a lot of indigenous knowledge that lie there in the rural communities, and creating those platforms for ICT enabling environment so that their products, their services can be known, marketed, but also, like I said, we can have a good base where we will be developing them in the industrial parks themselves. Yeah.
What are some of the victories that your department is most proud of, and some of the key developments you've been part of over the years? Because you had a talk here today, and you spoke to some of the journey that you've endeavored on, and some of the development you've seen along the way.
Mm-hmm. Look, I think the department, we've had quite a lot of victories. Sometimes in the economic space it's quite difficult because the overall municipalities, that's where the projects are located, have been embroiled in these issues of service delivery, collapse of some of the infrastructure. But what we have come to do is to rescue some of the very critical businesses that would have otherwise closed through providing for them the critical infrastructure that they needed to get themselves going. We've managed to save quite a lot of jobs, And most of these things also, they took shape when the unrest took place, in KZN and in Gauteng. We could see the damage that was done to the small businesses that were operating, and also large industries that were employing township people. Those that were in the proximity of townships, they suffered quite a lot. They bled quite a lot of jobs, and we came through with that and rescued most of the businesses, attended to the issues that were, so in that way it was a responsive government. But we also have programs where we've funded, I think enterprise-wise, our industrial parks. There are about 13 of the industrial parks that we have helped revitalize, across the country. That in a complement, we've saved about 65,000 jobs, through those kind of efforts. And we've seen a lot of the SMMEs now coming in and also locating into the industrial park. It's been quite a difficult journey, because not only do they need the infrastructure, but they also need some technical support to help them in their business plan, in their competitiveness of their businesses themselves. We've brought in the knowledge of CSIR, which also brings in that technical understanding. We've brought in people that deal with energy, renewable energy, building, also how to help these companies be sensitive to issues of water and energy saving and competitiveness that promotes that as well. So we work with the National Cleaner Production Center, which then helps the companies, look at their overall performance, in terms of their productivity. Where do they waste? Where is the waste area? Where are the waste areas within their production line? Those things help in the long run. They make sure that companies are able to save quite a lot of money, invest their money in some of these entities, in some of the operations where they could expand on their businesses. So we've seen quite a number of successes in that space. We work with various townships. We are formulating also what we refer to as township energy hubs, where we want to help communities to also understand decarbonization and its impact. There's now electric vehicles that are coming. What's our response to it? We cannot stay on using fossil fuel, depending only on Eskom alone. We know the problems. We have to provide solar, and we have to provide alternatives such as gas. We have to make sure that other battery power solutions are provided for the businesses that operate. You don't want businesses to close when it's load shedding. You want them to still continue, but you got to have alternative, whether solar, and then through having it being supported by a battery, in order to power their whole systems up. Gas, probably using their geysers. Those ladies who are in the hair salon industry and the beauty industry. You don't want their shops to close, and because if it's 3 hours load shedding, you can imagine. For them, their clients are gone. They won't come back, immediately. It's a distance, the dynamics in a township, in your life, to plan it. So if it's a 3-hour load shedding, 2-hour load shedding, and especially in township, it takes more than 2 hours, and 6 hours is lost, and the whole day is lost. And so you can imagine the bleeding that's being caused. So those kind of solutions, we're trying to deal with those salient issues, but very, very pertinent and important things for these communities to come to understand, but attend to them so that they can start growing their business. Yeah.
So are you also involved in terms of at the educational level, or in these demographics, maybe to educate the people also how to respond in some of the challenges of these times? Energy challenges and load shedding. The rent maybe is not as strong as it used to be. Are you involved at that level, to engage with the business people, how these townships can also be independent, like you are saying, hubs, that productive hubs that empower that area, instead of maybe also young people have to go out and seek employment elsewhere, Sentin, wherever, that they can be self-sustained.
There are opportunities, that government is put forth into helping townships. One of them is this global business outsourcing or, centers, the call centers, commonly known as that. So you find that most young people have to drive to the city centers, in KZN you have people driving to Mhlanga, from the townships. Most it employs people who are fluent. It's young people fluent in English but working in these call centers. They spend their money mostly on transport and accommodation because they'll go look for alternative accommodation. So one of the strategies is to bring those call centers in an area in the townships. And we are busy with another concept in Hammanskraal next to Babelege. We're working on that. I know here in Soweto there's also a call center which is I think funded through Merchant. Government gives support there together with Gauteng. So you create these jobs within that. But also within that space, we also want to have a strong footing in the ICT space, in the electronic space, because this is the digital age. We need to see more and more people not creating apps, but also the apps that they create solving problems that are currently, embroiling the townships. I mean, we've got a lot of problems around safety and security. We need to find a network that's solid, that gives people that assurance that I'm not going to be marked, So we need to have solutions. We need to have solutions as well around the issues of food distribution and storage, wholesaling. How do people buy together? And how do they determine whether what they are buying is genuine, has been checked, and all those kind of things? How do people communicate the social pressures and things that they think are not working in that space? So there must be that sort of voice, and it can only come through the digital platform that you create. So there's quite a lot of the good things that we seeing coming through these small interventions that we are doing, but it's gonna take us creating a sort of an integrated approach, taking all the systems that happen. There's challenge in the infrastructure, challenge in safety and security, challenges in food distribution, there's poverty challenge, socio-economic. So you got to bring all those systems so that they speak to a people of a place to get the economy working.
So what becomes key priority projects for the department and some of the key focus areas that you, in fact, the overall vision of the department also, please also speak to that.
The key thing around this program that we are doing, although DTI's focus and objectives in terms of visioning the country, is that we must focus on industrialization, transformation, and building of a capable state. Now, in those three legs of our overall vision of promoting the industrialization, transformation, and building a capable state is us resolving the issues of red tape, bureaucracy. How do we help partnerships work, private and government and communities working together, build that social compact? But how do we transform the communities? Transform, as we had this afternoon, to transform is to totally overhaul what we have. Disruptive economy then calls into being. We need to use the digital age to really shackle some of the structural impediments, because people have been used. You're going to take your things, you're going to drop them, you're going to go there physically and things like that. But how do we help bring in another new currency which is in the digital form? People can deal without ever touching the current, the currency itself as money, as paper money, but they can start seeing those businesses. So we need to bring that sort of angle of disrupting the community. But that also goes with change dialogues. We got to talk to people around mindset change. people must understand that they own the economy. They have the economy. They've got the numbers. That we can generate data and use that data to inform us how we need to grow, what areas we need to attend to, what areas we need to change and rejig, how do we need to move forward to define certain things, our spaces. Why do we need to depend on the big multinationals, companies to distribute bread from a central point instead of building capable bakeries in the townships that distribute their own food, that manages that, in that sense, circulating their rent. We need to come back to that space, but it's going to be enabled by the digital economy at the end. So we're bringing those kind of opportunities through working with other departments, the programs that we do. We provide the issue of infrastructure. So the issue of building infrastructure is very important. We need infrastructure because without a capable infrastructure, you cannot go from point A to point B. You need some form of mobility, So, and that mobility must be there on time to take you to wherever you want to go. So we need to look beyond just cars, beyond just trains. We need to look at, can we introduce bikes for people to transverse around and we've got e-bikes, There's issues of e-waste that we are also thinking is a good opportunity. The waste that's you can find the litter, separation of the waste to transform it into energy because we need energy. That's the third thing. It's very important that we find alternative energy to drive our economy, to sustain like the small business I was referring to. We need to teach people about how to save, energy through various means, the businesses. Because if we save energy, we can use energy efficient for our manufacturing, for our industrialization. But if we continue to, have people not knowing how to use energy and spend energy as they want, power as they want, and we continue to have the waste and the list is endless. So we need to rescue some of the areas, re-educating ourselves, but working together, building those partnerships. So those areas for us are very top priority. And we do that by identifying nodal spots where we can now bring together group of companies, whether it's beauticians, whether it's auto mechanics working together, whether it's guys who are doing furniture, so that ultimately we have something that works. We've got master plans in the DTIC that informs how we need to roll out. And those master plans have got targets as well for ordinary citizens, township-based SMMEs. So we need to now feed into those structures to make sure that the value chain is working from growing things in the rural communities up to putting them in the table in your house, where you eat with your family. So we need to make sure that we understand, we teach people about the various traceability issues, make sure foods are well, are compliant with whatever regulations are stipulated by government and by the authorities. In that sense, we're promoting competitiveness. It's a space that we think is exciting because it's not a one shoe fits all. There's various options we've got. We're fixing an aeroplane that's already is flying. So you've got to say, hey, how do we become creative? We don't have a space of saying, no, when we land, let's park and wait first, because there's another plane that's gonna reach that destination. So we've decided to take off with this journey with this plane. But can we fix it whilst, it's never been done, but we've got to fix the plane whilst it's flying, Yeah. So, but it's an exciting space. We've got enough youth in Africa. We're building our partnerships with overall African countries. We're starting those through the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, space. So we're starting those dialogues as well, so that we can start now to see the movement of products, things that people produce here in Soweto or here in Mamelodi somewhere, and maybe they are in need in another community in Ghana, and vice versa. In Kenya, we need to get people to create a new currency, and it can only be created by these people who have previously been disenfranchised, through various systems because they were not in the mainstream economy. Yeah.
Please close it off, sir, and speak to the young people getting into business. I mean, here today we have young people launching an app.
Yeah.
Please encourage the young people in terms of entrepreneurship and getting in this business journey.
Yeah, I think I would encourage by saying go take risks. Go make the most stupid mistakes. Come up with some assumptions, innovation, look at problems and try and resolve the problems, because there is no way in which you are going to come up with anything by sitting or by saying, no, I want to do the conventional things that I've seen people doing. You follow. Just do things that your wildest dreams, things that you thought, I never thought, but just start to think things innovatively. I think outside the box, but don't put yourself in the box, because the minute you say there's a box, so there's no box. Just think wild. Don't even say, I'm going to think outside the box. No box. It's a new virgin space, digital age. You are using phones. Start finding solutions. Look at your problems that you have, from waste, from things that you buy. Maybe you need to renew people already are making money by taking now old jeans, reworking them. That's a retarded sort of concept, but people are making money out of it. And there's so much we can do in the townships. So instead of us waiting for somebody else to come from overseas. So I would encourage you, your numbers are an asset, your data in terms of what you do and what's happening around you, it's enough of a currency. Use that, and go and get information, but sit with your friends, have dialogues, have discussions, come up and look at a problem. How do you resolve it? We need to resolve the issue of crime. They need to be at the forefront, because if you go elsewhere in some of the European countries that we visit, it's so peaceful. You can go into the train at 12, at 11 o'clock. Nothing's going to happen to you. You know it. You can walk the streets at night. Nothing's going to happen to you. But it's something different when you come to some of our cities. You cannot do that, at broad daylight. And that's limiting people movement, money movement. And we cannot even resolve it by saying online, because now people mark scooters. We need to find solutions. And the youth must drive that agenda of saying, we are taking things back into our control. We are mending our streets. We are putting digital solutions in space. We are now resolving these issues. We are bringing up with new products. And so I think that's, the exciting part. I would say, take risks, think, come together, gang up together, say, how do we have robust discussions, try to resolve these things. And there is no wrong things. All the people who made breakthroughs in life, they started thinking, there's always that fear, but overcome that. Overcome that, and I would encourage, we need more of the talks. We need to hear more of the youth as well, their platforms, what they are doing. Let them use the space of social media and to try and put a positive message. Let them tell their story, good stories about their lives. Thank you very much. Gosbert. Yes.
Welcome to the boardroom. I'm your host, Infrastructure&logistics, and we are here in Soweto for the launch of the Azmeh app, seeking to encourage entrepreneurship and collaboration among businesses in the township. And I'm joined by Nigi Webam, who's a social entrepreneur based here in Soweto. Welcome to the show, man. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Tell me more about some of the endeavors you are involved in and some of these social entrepreneurship that you do.
Well, I'm the founder of African Indigenous Leaders, which is a platform where traditional leaders, royals across the continent, they meet. We are on social media, but we do attend their events. We are promoting unity across the continent and the diaspora. We're promoting cultural exchange programs, which such discussions can lead into sharing of ideas on how indigenous rulers can develop their communities, which involve economic transformation. because we know that in our communities, most of the time, the traditional leaders will depend on investors to come and develop their land and empower people. But such information is not normally shared. So we encourage people to share information, to share opportunities where they have such opportunities, and also to bring in development to our rural communities or in our townships, because even in our townships, the people that are still there who lack opportunities, who lack jobs, are people that migrate from rural communities where there is shortage of skills and jobs. So we want to encourage cooperation, collaborations between private sector and also our indigenous communities, so that people can be developed, people can generate income, even if they make their products, because we know that there's land, they can do products, they can grow hemp, they can grow anything that they want to grow in the land that is available through the indigenous leaders. So they can be trained on agro-processing, they can make such products, and then such apps can be of great use because people will be able now to market. Because one of the challenges in rural communities is that people can grow cabbage, but if you don't have a market for it, it will get rotten out. There's no one who buys it, and it just ends up feeding with your livestock with. But when we have platforms where people are able to share their products, even if it's a skin product, it's a hair product, people are able to market globally because we're in a global space. We are talking digital. So such skills are very important to us. And as people that advocate for empowerment of traditional leaders, these are things that we need and we advocate for, that they must be included in such digital transformation, economic transformation. Yes.
You have people from how many countries in these groups?
Well, in our platform, I would just count few, but not limited to. Our recent countries now is Cameroon, South Sudan, and we've traveled to Ghana, we've been to Jamaica, and I'll be traveling to Japan. So that is where we are promoting. But Swaziland, we've been there, Malawi, the very active ones currently that we know that these are countries that have got a very rich history and traditions. It's Ghana and also Swaziland. We always attend some ceremonies there. And also Zambia, we have never been there, but we do have groups. We have groups in Kenya, we have groups for Rwanda as well. So when we talk even about trading and all, these are things that we want to encourage as well in our cooperation between all these traditional councils and other areas. We know that, like for instance, in Kenya and Rwanda, you find that there are no kingdoms, there are no traditional leaders, but there is a setup in a traditional community, and there are distinct cultures where you can see this is this culture, this is that culture. So we want all those people to be restored. And also sharing their attires, because you know we are wearing beads that are, some of them are from Kenya, you know, the Maasai people. So some of these communities, people really depend on the products that they have. And when we start to network with each other, we create also the spaces for their economy to grow.
And what's the next level of growth for this community, and some of the ideas you are exploring for future purposes?
So what we're trying to do mostly is for these kingdoms to have cooperation agreements with each other, like something like an MOU. But it is when then they can state that as this kingdom, this is what you specialize in, and we like to share this with you. I will just make a quick example with Amahlubi Chairman's Foundation. So this is a organization that is formed by Amahlubi. They are based in Northwest. So they grow sunflower. So they have exported their sunflower to Botswana. They even now start to manufacture even honey, because when you sunflower, you will have bees and then you can make honey. So other areas now, they can rotate maize with sunflower, because those people are willing to go to other kingdoms and say, guys, let's tap into this because we already have a big market. We have a demand in this. So these are things that we want to see in our kingdoms, because they will create jobs for the people in the communities, and also people won't have to move away and leave their families behind. And those are other things that we're really going to be doing. And also, like I'm saying, the whole continent, I think we'll achieve our mandate and our goal when we have reached most of these countries that we have in Africa, and we have had summits that will sit for kingdoms, for traditional leaders to come and sit and say, we as Africans, we have the minerals, we have this, we have that. You know, like they were mentioning here about cocoa from Ghana. So there's so many products that we can get, even shea butter. A lot of people that are here, they sell products from these countries. But how do we now grow such things? And also in Ghana, they sell some of the products that are made here. You know, so those are things that we want to see. We want to see Africa rising and people benefiting from all the resources that this country or this continent has to offer its people.
Yes, Ms. Nigi, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Time.